Hi, it's Melissa from Vibe Yoga, and it's snowing as you can see here in New Hampshire. I know it looks beautiful, but it's actually kind of a pain in the ass, and there's already been way too much shoveling for just December. It's supposed to be a very snowy winter, so this is a brief yoga flow to do some stretches after you've been out shoveling all day.
20/20 vision, ain't much missing. Two eyes blurry, but my third eye didn't. Need your correction, seems it's been getting better over time. It's a sign that I'm heading in the right direction. Need no permission. Fate be affecting all my decision. No longer listen to your opinion. You got intention, I got the vision.
To start, just imagine that you're no longer in the snow. Maybe you're on a villa in St. John with a beautiful view and a nice sunny warm weather. Let's start by coming onto your back with your knees up. Just give yourself a few breaths here to let your lower back relax a little bit, and to slow down your breath. So check in with your body and note any places that you're particularly feeling sore or tight, and see if you can release those spots on your exhales. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. And on your next inhale, we'll stretch out the legs and the arms nice and long. And exhale, draw those knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. And just take some time to rock a little bit side to side, maybe front to back, massaging out that lower back. Come to stillness. Hold on to that right knee. We'll let the left foot come down to the ground, left knee facing up towards the sky, and we'll hook that right foot over that left knee, flexing through the right foot to protect the knee. To start here in our figure 4, you can ground your lower back into the mat. Try to keep those hips on the ground, and this might be a nice stretch on your right hip. It might feel good to push that right knee out a little bit, and if you're not feeling this stretch, then go ahead, lift that left foot off the ground, hold on behind the thigh, or maybe even in front of the shin. Keep that right foot flexed. Keep that knee coming away from the body on the right side. And let's breathe here for 5 deep breaths. Try to keep that tailbone down towards the mat, so you don't want to be curling the lower back up. You want to be keeping that grounded. And that will help intensify the stretch. If your foot is in the air, we'll drop that left foot back down to the mat. Keep your legs in that figure 4 with the left foot down on the mat. And we're going to just bring our arms out to the side and let the legs drop over to the left. So it's a figure 4 twist. You can gaze out over the right shoulder, and it might feel good to even reach down towards that toe and hold here. You should feel a stretch on the outside of the right hip. Breathe here. One more deep breath. And on your next inhale, we'll bring the knees back towards the center. Unhook that right leg, and we'll take it right to the other side. So hooking that left foot over the right knee, flexing through that left foot. We'll do our figure 4 on this side, knowing that both sides of the body can be different. So see how deep you want to take it here. You can just push that knee out, grounding through that lower back, and if you want to go deeper, bringing that right knee up, holding behind the thigh or in front of the shin. But you want to make sure that you're keeping your upper back and your head on the mat. So if you have to come up like this to hold, then take it to a lower spot so you can really target that hip. And breathe here. Let's take 2 more breaths. Exhale, release that leg down, but keep the left knee, the left foot hooked over that right knee, and we'll take that twist to the other side. So legs stay in the figure 4, and they drop over to the right. Arms come out to the side, gaze to come over that left shoulder, and if you want to reach down towards the foot for a bind, feel free. Let's take 1 more breath here. Inhale back through center, unhook that leg. Inhale to take a nice big stretch. Exhale, draw those knees into the chest. And let's make our way all the way over to hands and knees. So a couple ways you can do it. You can start rocking back and forth until you come to seated and then come over your knees. Or you can just bring your knees to the side and push up through seated. So either way, when you get to seated, you can come over the top of your knees, over to hands and knees, or just swing those legs out to the side. Coming to our hands and knees. So, palms are right underneath the shoulders, knees are under the hips, and we'll work through a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhaling to drop the belly, gaze comes forward. Exhaling, curl that tailbone, gaze comes back towards the belly button. So one nice long wave, starting from your tailbone, going all the way up to the top of your head. Exhaling to come into our cat. Take this 3 more times on your own breath, always inhaling to expand, and exhaling to contract. Contract. Stretch out both our hands and our feet here. So I'm tucking my toes under and I'm sitting back on my heels. So this can be pretty intense here on the heels. If this is too intense, you can come up high on your knees here. But to start, we'll just sit here and breathe deeply, stretching out those feet. If this is too intense, again, just come out of it a little bit or give yourself a break. Let's fold those hands together, push those palms outward, and then we'll inhale them up overhead. Exhale, let them rain all the way down, stretching out those arms, coming forward, and we'll bring our wrist facing forward, fingers back towards the knees. So I'm still on my toes, but you can unhook those at any time. And now I'm just doing some small circles with my upper body. So I'm kind of stretching out both my feet and my wrists here at the same time, and my forearms. And then you can play around with changing the position of the hands, maybe moving side to side, pushing through those fingers. Let's unhook the feet, sit back on those heels, and just give the hands a nice shake. Back to hands and knees, we'll tuck the toes, hips come up and back, down dog. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. Think about that one long line from your tailbone to the top of your head. Then on the bottom of your exhale, we'll slowly walk those feet to the front of the mat. Hang up here. Inhaling to a nice flat back. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Keep your feet hip distance apart. We're going to connect some arm movements with our breath. So starting in our mountain pose here, as you inhale, the arms come out to the side, palms facing down, opening up wide, stretching out that back, gaze comes up. As you exhale, bring the wrists and the elbows together, keeping them nice and high, tucking that head down. Inhale, bring those arms up, coming into a little bit of a back bend. And then exhale, and the arms fall down to the side. Let's do this a few more times. Inhaling, arms out, opening through that chest. Exhale, wrists and elbows come together, head tucks down. Inhale, grows us nice and tall, little bit of a back bend. Exhale, arms come down. Inhaling, arms out to the side. Exhale, drawing it all in. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale, arms come down to the side. One last time. Inhaling, arms out to the side. Exhale, arms and wrists come together. Inhaling, a little bit of a back bend. This time as we exhale, let's dive all the way forward. Forward fold. Inhale to a flat back, plant the palms, and we're going to step the left foot all the way back to the back of the mat. So give yourself a chance to make sure the right ankle is underneath the right knee. When you have that big distance between the feet, drop onto that left knee. So you can see there's an angle on this leg, so my leg isn't just perpendicular to the mat, it's angled back. Engage your core to get your balance here, and when you're ready, we'll inhale the arms up to the knee, and then up overhead. And I'm thinking about this left hip coming forward, so I'm feeling the stretch on the front of that hip. That's going to help release that lower back. Breathe here. One more inhale here, and then as you exhale, we'll bring the hands around that right foot, and we'll straighten up that right leg, starting with the hip, drawing it back, making sure you're not hyperextending the right knee, having a little bit of a micro bend here, and really targeting this right hamstring. We'll fold over that right leg. Breathe here. One more breath. Inhale to bend back into this right knee. I'm going to come up on my left toes and walk my hands between my legs, bringing both feet to the side of the mat, nice and wide. Straightening through that back, keeping a little bit of a micro bend in those knees. We'll work into our wide-legged forward fold. Dropping down here. Noting if one hip is higher than the other, try to keep that nice and even. Hands can come to the toes. They can come to the outside of the legs. If you're having a hard time reaching the floor, you can use a block and hang out here. But getting this nice hamstring stretch on both of the legs. And let's take 3 deep breaths here. Walk the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to take this to the other side, so I'm bringing my left foot towards the back of my mat, coming up on my right toes, getting into this low lunge, making sure I have the right spacing, and when I feel good, I'm going to drop onto my right knee, untuck the toes, engage my core, and come into my low lunge on the left side. Breathing here. So again, I'm thinking about my right hip coming forward, and my right knee is at this angle, so I'm getting a big stretch on the front of that right thigh. Let's take 3 more breaths here. One more inhale, and then we'll exhale to frame that left foot, starting with the hip, we'll straighten out that leg, working on our hamstring on the left side. Make sure you're not hyperextending that knee. Some people are more prone to do that than others. Let's breathe here. Inhale to bend back into that leg. We'll come up on the right toes, walk the hands back through center again. This time I'm going to have a slight bend in my knees, a nice straight back. I'm going to come up to standing. Inhaling my arms up overhead. I'm going to exhale to clasp my hands together behind my back, interlacing those fingers. Inhale to get nice and broad through that chest. And then as I exhale, bending forward into my wide-legged forward fold, letting those arms come up overhead. Breathe here. You can release the arms at any time. Let's take 2 more breaths. And again, I'll walk my hands back to the front of the mat, come up on those left toes, plant the palms, and we'll just step that right foot back into a down dog. Pedal out the feet. Let's take 2 more breaths in down dog. Inhale to drop down to the knees, hands and knees. Exhale, coming back into child's pose. And give ourselves 5 deep breaths in our child's pose. Gently walking your hands up, bringing those legs out to the side in front of us, and working our way slowly onto our back. For the final resting pose today, you have an option to come right into Shavasana with the legs and the arms out, or you can bring the soles of your feet together, which might feel really good today, into this reclined bound angle pose, or Supta Baddha Konasana. And let's just give ourselves 10 deep breaths here, letting the body release anything else it's holding on to and melt into the mat. Start to deepen your breath, wiggling those fingers and toes. Eventually taking a nice big stretch up overhead, drawing the knees into the chest, and rolling over onto your side. And when you're ready, pushing yourself up into a seated position at the front of your mat. Thank you for stretching with me today. Hopefully this beautiful weather and scene in St. John can give you a nice visualization to be thinking about, get you out of that snow for a little bit. I'll be back in the snow in just a few days, so I'm hoping to create a lot of memories while I'm here, and maybe this will keep you warm for the rest of the winter. The light and good in me sees and honors the light and good in each of you. Namaste.
20/20 vision, ain't much missing. 2 eyes blurry, but my third eye